Good morning. It's currently 10 a.m. June 20, I believe 29th. It's 19 degrees out. The fog is just starting to lift up out of Bridgetown and off the floor of the valley, the Annapolis Valley. Gonna take a little drive. Down through Granville, through Annapolis. See if anybody's got any nice Canada Day decorations or some nice big flags out. But mostly I'm kind of interested in the gardens. I'm trying something a little bit different today. I've got the T roof, or what they call the Freedom panels. It'll be the front section of my roof off, so the point of view might be shifted a little bit, slightly to the left or to the right, and kind of trying a little something different with the audio. See if my microphone and everything will be able to combat the wind noise. Mainly to see if when I go away further, whether it'll be worth taking my roof off, or if I'm just gonna have to be stuck kind of with the roof on for the summer whenever I throw the camera on. So fingers crossed that the wind noise cancellation and everything kind of combats it, but we shall see. As you can see, everything's a lot more lush and full bloom. All the flowers and the trees. That was a nice little willow tree. Everything's definitely full bloom now, even though we've just been put into the first stage of a drought. We have been a little while since we've had a decent rain that hasn't just been a downpour that will run right off. So if you're not familiar, Canada Day, our national holiday, is on July 1st. And Annapolis Royal, that was one of the original settlements. One of the oldest towns in the country. So I kind of see it fitting to maybe take a little drive through Annapolis Royal. And it's always such a beautiful little town in the middle of the summer. Beautiful and ever increasingly congested. Right now we're driving down along the Annapolis River. We're on the highway number 1. And for the longest time there was only the 201 and the highway 1 that went up through the valley. As far as your main highways until they put the highway 101 in. But down through this end of the province, the Highway 101 is still only 1-lane traffic on each way. And in the wintertime and the heat of the tourist season, it's really outdated, to be honest with you. I think we're kind of locked into what we have due to a lot of the farming and everything that takes place, and the way that a lot of the land has been already divided, and most of it is farmland. So to take it, you're taking away part of an income. I think that's been the main hurdle. What a gorgeous day. Like I said, it's climbing up. It's 20 degrees now. By the end of the day, this is supposed to be one of the first real hot days. It's going to be 27, 28 degrees Celsius. Definitely be a day to be close to a lake or close to a pool or stay inside, but have a way to be able to keep yourself cool. The heat's not so bad, it's the humidity that's with it, and you can see it in the air, because it's, especially with last night, we had such a heavy fog set in through the night last night. Quite late kind of lifting, but for the most part it seems like the fog usually sets on the riverbed until about 10 o'clock or so, and then it'll start lifting up. I always love these cedar trees. It's a shame that this one here is starting to go brown. Kind of makes me sad. Growing up, that place was always had a beautiful yard. It was always nicely mowed, had plenty of gardens and kind of evergreen tree gardens. And it's kind of sad to see some of it, I guess, maybe reaching its maturity. Maybe that's natural, maybe it's blight. Might be. I know cedar trees, or some of those landscape cedar trees, can be very temperamental when it comes to a drought situation. And that tree definitely gets full sun. But I've got a hedge that I did just after our golden retriever passed away 3 years ago. I kind of micro obsessed into gardening to kind of grieve, and I planted a massive hedge. And then last year with the massive drought that we had, and then on top of it this year, it just seems like the soil and stuff has never really repaired itself from what it was, and from everything that happened last year with the drought and how far down it reached. But I'm cautiously watering them, trying to keep them from going the other way. But when your home's in a watershed that has been classed in a class 1 drought, it's hard to justify watering your hedge. Even though it was a lot of time and effort and a bit of, there was some investment there because it was to grow into being a privacy fence or privacy hedge, but I guess like most people around here right now, I'm praying for rain, but not too much of it, just enough that can start. We need enough rain that can heal things, not wash things away, beat and pound the flowers. We need it to be a nice soft rain over a few days. And that's not going to be cohesive to what I want to do as far as this channel goes, but it's not fun driving around and videotaping a drought situation either. Looking at the way things used to be compared to how it was. I'm definitely scared to see what it might be this summer, because they are claiming for it to be a hotter and drier summer than last. So, and sadly, a lot of the signs are already showing. You drive by people's lawns, and I mean, some people in class. When you think about people that do no mow May, so they don't even mow their lawn up until the end of May for the bees and the bugs and the flowers and whatnot, and the pollinators. But then you think that they might mow their lawn twice in June before it gets burnt now, because that's what's happening. It's hard to really fathom. I've been mowing my lawn right now and just leaving it on the longest setting for my mower, because I don't want to get it too short and mow it and burn it. I'd rather just kind of, if it's going to go dormant, maybe just stay have a little bit of length to it. But maybe that'll help keep a little bit of the moisture in the soil for me. My front yard, I don't think is the biggest problem. It's the backyard is quite wide open as far as coverage and lack of coverage. Fantasy RV Tours. Yep. Iowa. It's that time of year now. We're about to see, you don't know where you're going to see license plates from in Annapolis right now. You can see them from anywhere, even Europe, because some people get those bigger, like, they're almost like I don't even know what to call them, like a Land Cruiser or a Land Crosser, they're not so much an RV, but a camper on steroids. But you'll see some of them come from across seas that people will ship in and then kind of do their tour they'll go from Halifax to Vancouver and then possibly up to Alaska or down, like you'll see a lot of that stuff around Annapolis this time of year. People doing big tours. I got talking and kind of sidetracked myself. That's okay. This is a good spot to have a bite to eat, though. Tom's Cool Bus. It's always here, really, whenever the snow leaves. And it's always parked on the causeway in Annapolis. Grab a burger, grab some fries, possibly a lobster roll, maybe some Hattie Bits. I haven't really checked out the menu this summer, to be honest with you, because nothing against his food, but fried foods I have issues with, because I have digestion issues. So, but it is very popular, not just with people passing through. It's very popular with the locals. I kind of wanted to go down through Granville here, because Granville is always beautiful at this time of year. And it's always kind of one of those, this time of year is one of these spots you just can't pass up. But I guess just like other places this time of year, it unfortunately is in a bit of construction. Hopefully we get some luck today. But everything's so beautiful. The white flowers, the willow trees, just everything in full. Oh, that's a nice garden. A lot of effort gone into there. And this to the right, this used to be the elementary school. And I used to watch my mother play slow pitch baseball there. And actually, yeah, fun fact, that was, she was playing slow pitch baseball the night she went into labor with me right there. And my uncle, he used to own a cafe in Annapolis, the Fordham Cafe. It's changed owners now. But he rushed my mom to the hospital because my father was fishing. But back then, that was kind of the way it was. It was, fishing didn't necessarily take days off, and I guess that was kind of a lot of the upbringing I had. I missed a lot of key moments in family, and looking back on it, me and my wife's family's moments. I missed a lot of things due to fishing, and just that idea of, you know, tomorrow will come, but fishing's today. And I kind of, as I got older, I kind of had a little bit, as I started to get a little more life lessons and seeing things in ways, things that affected people closer to me, I kind of didn't really, I don't know, subscribe to that way of life so much anymore, where life can wait and fishing can't. At some point you can't live to work. And I think when that's what it is, I think you gotta reevaluate things. There's such thing as loving what you do and making your passion your project. I respect that and I appreciate that, but in no way should you live to work. It should always be work to live, and that should be the prize for your paycheck, is being able to live. And I know that might strike a little different on some people's ears than others, given the current situation and climate that the world is, and a lot of people are in financial turmoil, to say it the least. But I see that, I kind of think that I was kind of forced into realizing that situation. I was looking at a job, I was in a job that was physically costing me and then mentally costing me, and I definitely had to make the choice. And in some ways the choices were made for me. And for a long time I just refused to see the writing that was on the wall, so to speak. Because today I look back and I don't even know how I functioned on the boat, given some of the stuff that I was going through. And I was only doing it because of the mentality that I had to, fishing came first. Living life comes after. If you're not doing something that sets you up to enjoy your time on this earth, I feel that, you know, you should reevaluate things. And in my case, I was forced to. And for a long time, I didn't miss it, to be honest with you. I know that might strike some people, because it is a lifestyle, but when it was costing me the ability to go enjoy my time, because I was home with ice packs or stuck in bed for 3 days, or a hospital for 2 weeks. Yeah, the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze. And for a long time, I think I resented it. And then the missing it started. And it's mostly, I think it came in the form of missing the sunsets, missing all the stuff that were the small little quiet rewards of that job of being a fisherman, of being a commercial fisherman. But there's lots of stuff that I think it will stick with me for a long time. You know, like, I'm mid-40s. I grew up walking the brooks and riding bikes, and definitely an outdoors child. And I love nature, love walking the brooks and stuff like that, but I don't think for the life of me you could get me to go just recreational fishing, just to go trouting or maybe bass fishing or something like that. And I think at this point in my life I'm better off, and I'm more comfortable just observing nature. I've come to the point where I've realized, or in my opinion, that I've taken enough from nature, from this world. And once you have that thought cross your mind, or that taste in your mouth, it's hard to wash out. It's hard to talk yourself into justifying the years of take from Mother Nature. I don't know, like, as a fisherman, what did I ever give back other than putting things back in the water that weren't supposed to be in my traps? There's that saying, you know, dirty hands clean money, but I don't know. Sometimes even if your hands are dirty and you've done the work, it really doesn't feel all that clean. And then there's a lot of other things, you know, there's a whole different political temperature involved in the fisheries and in a lot of stuff right now, and I didn't feel like I should be, well, I just didn't agree with a lot of people that were with how some of it was being handled, we'll say. And I didn't feel that it was my place to stop any person from coming down and fishing or catching a lobster or whatever, if it be their right, or they had a license to fish or a right to fish. It's I don't know, it was becoming a lot of gray area and there's a lot of negativity and separation inside the fishery, and yeah. Personally, I think I distanced myself from it at the right time. Do I miss it? Yes. But do I miss fishing the way that it was right when I left? No. I miss fishing when it used to be me and my best friends working on deck. And my father was in the wheelhouse, which was years ago. Those are the years of fishing where I didn't have a care in the world other than just looking and doing the work and looking at the beauty that was kind of gifted to you for doing the work and being there and kind of suffering through some of it. But I guess those days are long gone. It's nice to be able to vent though, because there's not a lot of people that I guess understand what I'm talking about. Maybe this is just rubbish to some people, but when you leave a career that fast, it's almost like it's there's almost some shock there that it's like it's done, and then it's like and then like mourning, like the mourning starts, mourning a lifestyle and a career. And like I thought I'd be fishing till I was 60, 50. And sadly, the kind of the backup plan that I had given myself with paralegal and law and whatnot, with things that have happened in the world, that's been shot in the foot, because it's just everything that I was taught has become so obsolete. And that's just a casualty of the fast-moving world that we live in these days. You're either in it or you're left behind. I got left behind. In some ways, I do miss that school. That was a nice middle school. Annapolis Royal Regional Academy. If you know, you know. At the time I was there, it was grade 6 till 8. And then you went to Annapolis West Education Center, also known as AWAC, which we had just passed actually, but I was gabbing. Well, there was no big flags or anything. The only real flags that we seen were in Bridgetown. Right at the beginning of Bridgetown, the guy had his yard decked out pretty good. They usually have pretty good little Halloween decoration, pretty good Christmas decoration. And in the years past, they've done the Canada Day decorations as well. But it's kind of nice to see the town in full bloom. And it was kind of nice. I guess today I needed to vent. I guess today was one of those days it was just kind of building up on me. You never really know how much you miss something until you just kind of... something hits you the right way. I do miss it though. I've been thinking about going out on a boat here sometime. I bet you now I'd probably get seasick. I want to go out. I've got a couple friends that I might be able to get out with, but it'd be nice to get out and just see a couple traps break the rail again. Never know. Maybe in the near future. But I guess not today. So thank you for joining. If you watched until now, I appreciate you so much. But that was Bridgetown, Annapolis, and Granville. And I think now I'm gonna maybe see if I can't find a spot to go for a swim. Till next time, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.